Hello. Here's an example of a client who downloads lots of information from a number of different data sources. You can see that information comes in. There are various numbers. This is just an example of some of the numbers that don't quite come in right. Some organizations include text with a number, some make the number too long, too short. For some people it comes across as a number, others it comes across as text. Sometimes it even comes in scientific notation. So there's a lot of tweaking to be done. Also, some of these cells, you can see here, some of these cells actually span across two columns. They're merged cells. So there are changes that need to be done on this every time they do one of the downloads. And it was taking people between perhaps 5 or 10 minutes and occasionally up to an hour to get the thing into the format that it needed to be in order to be imported into my client's system. There are about 10 or 15 people doing this, and it's one of the jobs that they do repeatedly, day in, day out. So I distributed to each of them a self-installing add-in. And what that means is they receive an email, they click the link, and it just installs itself in Excel. And what it looks like is a ribbon up here, or a toolbar in the older version, with bespoke tools that are just really relevant to this particular organization. Got some examples of product codes in mixed formats. So here are some text, some numbers, some with bits of text included in them. And you click the button and it just intelligently turns them into the right format of number. Here's an example where one of the numbers actually can't be handled. It's got too much information in it, and on those rare occasions my client needs to contact their client in order to resolve that issue. So when that happens, the system tells them that it's happened, and then as you look down the list you can see in red any number or numbers which need to be resolved. Looking at this example with some merged cells in it, you can see that some of these cells span across two columns. There's some others here which span across two columns. This button takes a look at the whole sheet, and if I click yes, it will find every cell which is merged and then usefully get rid of the extra cells that it doesn't need so that it's ready to be uploaded into the system. And here's an example, perhaps quite difficult to explain. There are a series of items here. Now, those items need to be included if any one of the stores across the top has ordered a sample. So it could be that all stores have ordered an example, but if only one has, then that needs to be included in the shipment. So in the past, somebody was having to put in some kind of formula or count the number of Ys across there, and what they wanted was the facility to select one, two, a number of stores, I've got them all there, and just collate that information all into one column. So at the click of a button it tells you immediately which items do and don't need to be included in the shipment. These gizmos are being used by a room full of people, and they're being used on every data import, saving between a few minutes or sometimes, as I say, up to an hour each time any of them is used. So you can see how this very quickly becomes cost effective.